Stress is a major issue nowadays, and I'm going to give you 5 facts that you need to know that will help you to eliminate the stress from your life. Number 1, feeling overloaded. Perhaps you identify with running in your life, chasing your tail, too much work, deadlines, emails, everything just getting on top of you. And this can really pile up on top of you and cause you a lot of stress. So what I would say, my tip for this, is to write down the hot spots of stress in your week. So the times of the week, it might be a Tuesday morning getting the kids out the door, it might be a Wednesday afternoon because you've got something to do, a deadline at work. So work out the hot spots in the week and then start to backtrack from those and see what you could do differently to be more prepared. It might be things like planning better ahead, it might be not taking on so much. So this will help you to work out where the problems are so you can actually start to sort those areas out. Number 2, being tired. Now you might just be so tired because everything's getting on top of you, and if you've got children they'll be getting caught up in the tiredness as well. People are on a go the whole time. But what I recommend is you start going on a slow. And to help you do this, start to visualize your life going well. Start to see things not with you tired. Start to see yourself energized and say to yourself, amazing. Even when it's all going wrong, just say amazing. It's going to be amazing. It will work out amazingly well. So you start to change the language that you're using around your tiredness. Obviously getting to bed earlier will help, but mainly it's changing the actual way that you run your life. Number 3, feeling anxious. It's very common for people to have butterfly feelings or to just feel very nervous about things. And again, this can be everything piling up that's making you feel that way. So what I would say is see your worries as objects. So I'm going to say today to imagine those as clouds in the sky. So each of your worries is like a cloud, and imagine that cloud moving on by. So taking the problem out of your head and putting it into a visual exercise. Or actually if you're driving the car you might see some clouds in the sky and you can say to yourself, I'm going to put my problems up on there. And this will take the anxiety out of your body. The other thing you can do is just rub your tummy in a circular motion to actually calm your body down and to actually remind yourself that your tummy doesn't need to feel that way. And by doing these things and then changing your language and saying from an old language which may be, what if I'm late, what if the meeting doesn't go well, what if the kids don't get their exam grades, change that to, what if it's amazing? What if it goes brilliantly well? What if they're so pleased with me that it's fantastic? So change all your what ifs and your questions into what if it's amazing, and this will really help with your own anxieties. Number 4, feeling down. A kind of depressed feeling, but a lot of people don't associate themselves as being depressed, they just have that kind of down feeling. So your mind can actually get caught into a habit of feeling down, and it may be that there's been other events in your life that have happened, I don't know, a bereavement or a time that you didn't have any money or something that was quite stressful. So it sort of is, you've built a bank of down and low feelings, and actually your mind is still remembering those times. So what I would say is any time that you had a bad experience, say you didn't get the job or you didn't have the money, just see that in your mind going differently. Imagine that day going differently. You went in and they gave you the job. Or the time you didn't have money, visualize that you had money during that time. Or if you had an illness, perhaps visualize that time that you were fit and well. This will actually break the old habits of feeling down in your mind. So it's basically rewriting your past bad things. Don't think about the bad things, just go to the day before the bad thing happened or the time in your life that wasn't going well, and then visualize it going how you would have loved it to go. So sort of celebrating life and feeling good. And it will break you out of those depressed or down feelings, which is really going to help because your mind is creating your future based on where your past was. This will help you to see things more positively in the future. Number 5, being short of time. People are suffering with this, and a lot of the time people are just running in their lives and they're actually creating less time for themselves. And some people will drink alcohol because they're switching off from the stress of their lives, but actually that takes your time as well. You could end up with being hungover at the weekend, feeling exhausted, or losing your evenings because you're actually not focused and able to get on with the things that you need to do at home because you're a little bit tipsy or you've switched off by having a drink. And what it is, it's just that changing the habits that you need to change to rein that back in. And families now, they'll be rushing off to the cinema, rushing off to the horse riding, rushing off to all the different activities as well. And the weekends can become quite a headache and exhaust you even more. So my tip would be, whether you've got kids or you don't have kids, whatever your lifestyle, use your weekends to recharge your batteries. Go for a swim, go for a spa, have a nice relaxing time at home. If you've got children, sit and play a little board game at home. They love your attention, or just sit doodling, doing some colouring on the kitchen table. You don't need to be rushing off to an activity, as that's just going to give you less time. So I hope that's useful. And if you want more tips and advice, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel.